Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to come back and catch 'em all, as Once Human's brand new scenario is just around the corner, which brings full-on Pokemon and Palworld vibes to the apocalypse. So in today's Ultimate Guide, I'm gonna share everything you need to know about it, to get you more than ready to capture the rarest and most powerful deviations by unlocking high-tier binding grenades, level up your very own Pokedex or Symbiosis fast to prepare for the most challenging arena battles. In today's guide, I'm gonna help you get ready to become the very best like no one ever was. So, as you've heard in the intro, the main goal in this scenario is to basically catch them all, Pokemon or Deviations, level up your Symbiosis or Pokedex, and challenge gym leaders, even arena masters, to earn rewards like TMs in Pokemon, which are now called skill mutagens, which you can give to your crew, make him even more powerful with fusions, and eventually challenge the final arena master at the end of the scenario. I'm gonna break down everything you want to know about this scenario with timestamps. You can find links in the description to them. But essentially, the very first thing you want to do when you land on the island is to travel to Blackfell. This is where you will be able to find the Verdant Arena. At the very start of this scenario, Loa is so kind to give you one of his deviations. You can choose between 3 different ones. Big surprise. At a certain point, I was a little bit confused with this, where I had to search for a sound. Simply talk with the cat right here, as that is the first arena master from the Verdant Arena of Blackfell. Before you can challenge her though, you're gonna have to level up your Symbiosis, which we're gonna talk about later. First, let's cover the essentials. So, how do you catch them all? First, you're gonna need to get your hands on binding grenades or Pokeballs, which are available in different levels. The game kind of already tells you how to unlock these by simply visiting the Memetics menu, check out the infrastructure tab, and voila! This is where you will find capture device 1 to 5. Binding grenade 1 is pretty cheap to craft with only copper ingots and metal scraps. For binding grenade 2, you're gonna need bronze, while for 3, you're gonna need steel, but also binding stones. The game doesn't give you any guidance on how to get your hands on this resource, which is pretty much essential to dominate the scenario. Especially when we look at Capture Device 3, you'll be able to get Binding Grenade 4 and 5. The most important one right here, the Ultra Ball, as this one allows you to catch the best deviations and take on any Arena Master. What I very much recommend you to do is make your way to the north, the Agate Tundra, as quick as possible. This is where you will find a little town called Mooseville. Recommended level 37, but you guessed it, this is where you can start finding the binding stones, while we have another town right here called Mooseville Sweet Factory, also with binding stones. And trust me guys, if you check out the big house, it's gonna be filled with storage containers, all with a very high chance of containing at least 1 binding stone, while for Mooseville itself, you wanna check out the area near the Rift Anchor itself. You have a pretty big mansion right there. Just open all the boxes, also the little market south of it. You will get plenty of the binding stones, which can then be used to craft yourself binding grenades. Starting at 3, they're just gonna cost 1 binding stone. So exclusively focus on the number 5, which I'd say is your Ultra Ball with the highest chance of capturing deviations. After you've crafted yourself some binding grenades, your next step is to find deviations to capture. First, equip them to see your odds of capture. Before you do this, what's gonna make it easier to capture the deviation would be to simply weaken them in combat. You can do this by either shooting with a gun you craft or by deploying other deviations from your crew to basically deal damage. If your chances to capture the deviation stay ridiculously low, the chances are high you're gonna need higher level Pokeballs. But there are different ways how you can make it easier. If you scan your surroundings by snapping or clicking your fingers, you can always highlight loot, but with this scenario, you can also find hidden tracks or footprints, which, if you interact with them, also increase the chances of capturing specific deviations. I like to just spam click this, as apparently this seems to make the odds even better to an extent. Well, another tip to capture is that you can actually use 1 single binding grenade to catch multiple deviations. Especially on low level, it's super frustrating as it feels like you're crafting dozens of these Pokeballs with a very low chance of capture. So in my opinion, it's a smart move to simply weaken multiple deviations, then gather them in a certain radius, throw your grenade in the very center, and bam, you can capture multiple ones with a little bit of luck, or of course by using the right binding grenades. So, now you know how to catch them all, but it's also important to level up your deviations to basically become more powerful in combat, so it's going to be easier to of course deal with the gym leaders and take on challenging arena masters. This can be done pretty simply by simply resolving combat. Big surprise, during this scenario, you as a character or trainer become pretty useless. The only thing you can do is guide your deviations to victory basically. Your own gear, weapons and armor is terrible. All the blueprints you've unlocked in the past couple months, if you did, cannot be used, only a limited amount, while at the same time you cannot use weapon attachments or armor mods. Nothing of that is included in this scenario, so you really have to rely on the combat capabilities of your friends. So simply put, don't invest any time or resources in the gear menu. Even a level 1 gun is going to be just fine to reach the endgame content. Don't focus on blueprints. I mean, you can unlock these, but they're not going to make a world of difference. Instead, you're going to visit the Symbiosis menu and assign 3 of your deviations. Preferably the ones with the highest levels and of course the coolest abilities to use during combat. We're going to talk more about this menu in a second, but simply to activate them, all you need to do is press their corresponding keybind, which will automatically summon all these creatures. Then you will see a little blue bar slowly charging up. If it reaches the maximum, you can basically use their ultimate attacks. If we once again quickly check out the Symbiosis menu and go to the Polar Jelly, you can see that it comes with a special technique. Low temperature smoke. Releases a freezing mist for 10 seconds, dealing AoE damage. With By the Wind, we can cast the Wind Wall, and nice, we just died because of hypothermia, because gear is not important in this scenario. Oh man, some of this really doesn't make any sense. Anyways, Wind Wall and also the Quantum Charge. That's why I really love the Atomic Snail, as it can restore Psi energy to each ally touched, basically recharging their ultimate abilities. So let me just quickly aggro all these bad guys, and right now what we can do is just use the ultimate of our jelly, and look at that. That's super satisfying AoE damage that instantly deletes evil from this world. Right now, with the Atomic Snail, we can recharge the ultimate ability. There we go. And we can cast it again, if of course you have to deal with more foes. That's why I absolutely love this combo. In this scenario, everything you kill, including deviations, can also drop a new type of resource right now, which is called Combat Memory, which can be found on different levels. You can use it to craft XP aggregators. Let's quickly check them out. So we've got 1, 2, and 3 right here. Of course, the higher the level, the more experience your character will get if you give it to him. For this, you're gonna have to first check out the Cradle Memetics. Don't think the game tells exactly where you can find it, but you simply want to search for the crafting, and this is where you can unlock all the different levels. After that, check out the Symbiosis menu, highlight the character you want to level up, press upgrade, and now you just choose the specific aggregator and take it all the way to the maximum, and voila, we've just leveled up our Atomic Snail to 39. Then we also have the Fusion Pod, for which you get a blueprint very early on with your main mission, while it can also be unlocked in the Memetics menu by simply checking out crafting. There you have it. Anyways, from Loa you get this for free, and you can interact with it to basically combine 2 deviations of your choice with a small chance of making them more powerful. You can also throw in fusion materials in there. So first, make your first selection. Let's just go for a paper doll right here. Let's throw in another paper doll right here. As you can see, this combination gives us a 100% chance of unlocking these skills or traits. You can even add some fusion materials, in this case skill mutagens, which seem to be pretty similar to TMs in Pokemon. These are like skills you unlock after you've completed a gym battle or arena master. Simply put, you can choose up to 3 skills to add to the fusion, and after it's done, there is going to be a chance for it to be present on the mutated deviation. Honestly, I didn't really find this a fun mechanic as it only resulted in failure, maybe because I'm still in the early access of this scenario, but yeah. Long story short, you're not gonna need it that much as you will become unstoppable with level 5 binding grenades, which I shared earlier. Now, let's move on to the Symbiosis menu, as once again, this is an important thing you need to upgrade. You can only advance in this scenario if your symbiosis level is on point. If we quickly check out the top left right here, when we reach a certain deviation level, we advance to the next rank. I think for the Verdant Arena, Kitty, you're gonna need a symbiosis level of like 80. For the second, Chaosaurus, you're gonna need, I think, 280. Right now, the Snow Sprite Arena, we're gonna need 520. So possibly 1000 for the final one. Your symbiosis level also determines its capacity. On level 1, you can only add 20 deviations to it. On level 2, it's gonna be 40, I think. Level 3 now 60. So we have a ton of unique deviations in our inventory right here. Only the first 3, the ones you have equipped, are used in combat. All the rest only counts for your symbiosis level or total value. If we quickly scroll down right here, we still have a couple open and locked slots for the next symbiosis level. But if we quickly click on add, you can see that each deviation comes with a value. So it's very important you exclusively choose the ones with the highest values, as that is going to be easier to, of course, reach a higher total value. So after you've gotten your hands on some amazing deviations to battle, gyms, and arena masters, it's of course time to deal with every single one of those. As shared earlier, you can find them across the map. I think it's going to be wise to first focus on the gyms, as these quick travels will automatically pop up on your map and you can already instantly travel to them with all different recommended levels. Some pretty challenging, but still with the deviations I shared earlier are going to become easy mode. After you've caught enough deviations, leveled them up, and of course gained the right symbiosis level, it is time to deal with the arena masters. The very first one, Kitty in the Verdant Arena in Blackfell. After that, you want to make your way a little bit to the north with, I think, Chaosaurus Rex in the Hot Spring Arena. Then you also have to deal with the Chaos Sprite in the Snow Sprite Arena. And last but not least, we also have the Wish Arena in the Wishlands East. Last but not least, you can also challenge other players with random matchmaking, which can be done at the arena NPCs. In my opinion, this is a super unbalanced way of PvP, as when I only just started with the scenario, I was instantly matched against S-rank foes of level 45, while later on, when I became powerful, I received the honors to eliminate somebody else of low level. I sincerely hope that they're gonna improve on all this after the early access period. But yes, I'm super curious what you guys think about the scenario. Let us know in the comments down below. If you have more questions, I'm happy to answer those as well. Right now though, it's 4 AM out. A big thanks for watching. Be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed the guide. And of course, comment if you have more questions or video suggestions. I'll check you guys in the next video or live stream. Take care. Peace.